This must be the house of their timid god. They built him a rich dwelling.
Even the mighty fall, and God's servant the...
A Dane treads the cobbles of God's house. In search of Christ's redemption, I hope.
Your Christ can wait his turn. It is you I've come to see.
Is that so?
When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly cometh wisdom. You know these words, and you know why I speak them.
I do, but I am not yet satisfied that you are the one for the task ahead. As Jesus said unto Thomas, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Speak the deeds of Christ in order. Only then will you cometh unto my Lord.
If I must dance to your tune, tell me where to step.
In books one may find such wisdom. We had many in England, before the Danes burned our churches. A few yet remain nearby. Or perhaps a more pious soul in need of charity will reward you with a lesson.
I have nothing for you now.
Even the mighty fall, and God's servant, the Bishop Aelfred, was mighty indeed. He was a man of surpassing vigor, well versed in the Bible, quick of wit.
He bathed in the river, so a gentle wash brings them closer to their God.
Aelfred to sit beside him. And Aelfred answered, his body gone to earth, and his sister weeping. Mourning a lord far known.
He rose from the dead? A nice trick, and not easily done. Their god brings them light, just as Baldur does. Light as bright as the summer sun.
Speak the deeds of Christ in order.
God breathed on the water and in the Jordan.
His baptism.
The women came.
His resurrection.
On the mountain his face shone like the sun, and he became light.
His transfiguration. Thou art weighed in the balances, and found wanting. Perhaps you should try again. Speak his story.
I am no...
Then return. Has his light brought illumination to your darkness? Speak his story.
God breathed.
His baptism.
The women
His resurrection.
on the mount.
His trans. Thou art weighed. Perhaps you should try.
I am no
Then return. Has his light brought illumination to your darkness? Speak his story.
God
His baptism.
on the mount.
His transfiguration.
The women came with
His and Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness. Well spoken.
other riddles done.
That is not for me to decide, for I am not the one who summoned you. If you follow, I will lead you to him.
I solved your riddle. Now all I get is silence. Who am I to meet?
Shh. Even a fool, when he keeps silent, is considered wise.
Yet men become wise by speaking with other men. They grow foolish when keeping to silence.
Hush! You're prattling offends God's ears.
We're here!
May Christ, whose terror scares away the foul throngs, make with me a strong covenant. Was God's lesson instructive?
I learned that your god fears death, just as mine do. Just as every man does.
Yet through our Lord, we may achieve life everlasting in his glorious presence. Perhaps you missed that detail.
Do all the priests in Winchester have this same skill for drama? You risk your life, Aelfred King.
I have invited you here to speak on equal terms. Do the Dane laws of hospitality not apply in Wessex?
You gifted my Jarl to that whelp from the Order of Ancients, the warrior Fulke.
Fulke was an enemy of Wessex. But it seems someone has already removed her threat from my lands.
If you did not hear it was me, you have now.
Impressive. The Order of Ancients has surely been crippled by her loss.
How much do you know of this order?
Only this and little more. This letter, signed by one who calls himself a poor fellow soldier of Christ, warns of a plot against my life.
The gallows, the quill, the Sikhs. 3 men eager to kill you.
2 now. The Bishop Aelfred is dead. He was the Sikhs, so far as I can tell.
And a humble servant of your god. That must sting.
Still, his death has strengthened Christian fellowship in Winchester. I pray the deaths of his colleagues will do the same.
You have faced warriors like me many times before, and many times you have lost or been cheated. Why trust me now?
I have men in London and Jorvik. Men who send me reports on the rise and fall of the tides of war. Not long ago, men and women of some influence were murdered in those places. In oddly specific circumstances. When I received this letter from our poor fellow soldier, it did not take long to work out why. I don't know your motive, nor what you hope to gain. All I ask is that you finish the work you have begun, before these fallen souls infest England further.
I should let the Order kill you. It would speed our conquest of England.
You may remove the organs of state. The cancer will remain.
Then promise me a reward I can sing about. A healthy king's weight in silver.
Very well. As much as you can carry. This morning, my reeve, Goodwin, was not at his post.
A man you trust.
Goodwin was following the clues given in this letter when he disappeared.
Where was he last seen?
At his house, by the West Gate. You may find something there. Eivor, compose yourself while you are my guest. My city is not a battlefield.
Not yet, great king, but the day will come. I need to find this reeve, Goodwin.
stones on him arresting Aelfred's man. Who rules in Winchester anyway? Is Aelfred king or not?
Well, you ain't, that's for sure.
Goodwin gone, and guards sniffing around. So where would they have taken him?
What's this now?
God, je miltje! This gold!
Say good night.
Papers thrown in the fire. Goodwin covering his tracks, while the guards destroying evidence. Broken bowls, food scattered. They took him by force. There must be a garrison in the city. A violent struggle with the guards. They must have taken him to Winchester's garrison. This area is off limits.
What? Raiders! The Northmen come! Die! You!
So slow!
Blindside the idiots! Suffer! Suffer! I'll have to try that myself. Die! Christ is surely with us.
Lumber into your fate.
I'll have your head!
Coward, shoot!
Age me, old lord!
Thick walls and thicker guards. A place to keep a valuable man.
A Dane in Winchester? These are strange times.
King Aelfred sent me, pleading from his bended knee to find someone.
I know Alfred well enough to spot a bloody lie when I hear it. If he did send you, he was standing tall and proud.
That he was, and you are the man I've come to find, Goodwin. Do you know why?
If I had one guess, to find these heretics from the Order of Ancients, and bury them so deep, even God would need a shovel.
So where do we start digging?
My research should help us. If they haven't burned it already, it'll be somewhere nearby.
I will find your research. Now go before they find their wolf has fled his cage.
Let's regroup beyond the walls.
Goodwin's research against the Order of Ancients.
What? We must ring around. Good options, dog. Get behind if you can.
Die, you!
Winchester mourns a good bishop and a strong...
I am grateful for your help.
It is a brazen move to arrest Aelfred's favorite reeve.
This so-called order are nothing but defiled shit peddlers.
Shit peddlers who have wormed their way into every crevasse of your country. They are dangerous.
I didn't catch your name, did I?
Eivor of the Raven clan. Scourge of Mercia, if that name does not rattle some recognition.
Well, Eivor, when our three heretics smolder on a heap of ash, we'll down a cup of ale together and share our distaste of Mercians like old friends.
Aelfred believed at least one is dead. Your bishop Aelfred was the sixth.
Bugger. Half of Winchester is in mourning for that nun-groper.
I found this nailed on a door. The quill wields words like a knife.
A disputation of tutelage. Pretty chatter with poisoned intent. I will look into this more.
The gallows. What do you know of him?
Must be another reeve, I'm sure of it. Only we have the power to mete out justice, and this one would walk with cocksure righteousness.
The gallows had you arrested, so he must command the law.
Reeve Selwyn? Of course! That hedge pig has brought down laws like a hammer on Winchester, executing sinners on spurious charges in the square.
Could it be another?
He's the man. He's the only one who fits. End his terror, Eivor.
I'll wear your guts as a hat! By God, Harry!
The Lord works in mysterious ways, taking his servant in so terrible a fire.
Nademön!
Good people of Winchester, open your eyes. See how Aelfred's lofty ideals are weighed down in this mire of human effluence. These prisoners before you do not live by Aelfred's laws. They live above them. They wallow in shit, only guided by their own perversity. Hubert here, his wits addled by ale, spoke false of Bishop Aelfred, our pious servant of Winchester, who even now lies cold in his grave shroud.
Aelfred was no man of God. He'll burn for his sins.
Your wife is obeying shrew, Hubert. Is there a man here who has not supped rancid mead from her cup?
When will your work be done, Selwyn? When all of Winchester falls to your justice?
Winchester has passed judgment, Hubert. May God have mercy on your cankerous soul.
There is no longer freedom in Winchester.
None are safe from his blade.
In the grain store, and Aelfred...
Selwyn punishes criminals, as it should be.
Protect your servant, Winchester! You will...
Get the lad! Your guts out!
perverter of justice. Who dares execute the king's noose?
It is not in Aelfred's name that you carry out your work. You are the Order's executioner.
You peer through the veil, but you do not see clearly. Aelfred's laws are a slave's fever dream. He offers shit-soaked beggars a seat at his table, where the meek devour the strong. Who best to judge the fate of the wretched many, if not the strong and worthy few?
To protect your people, you must sheathe your hand in an iron glove. You grind your heels into the backs of freedmen, not those who deserve it.
The Order condemns all men to pain. For all men are but a shadow of the perfection we should know. The perfection of the Ancient Ones.
You are only a man, Reed. One dead branch on a fast-dying tree. I should meet with Goodwin, see what he has found on the quill.
Hey! What's right there? Schütte! Fundiert unaware,
Holy Mother! Help me! It's bigger!
Max! Where's Julian? Hey, fellas! We should be rising!
Do you believe in souls? A part of us that lives on. Jesus have you. Have him
Jump, little flea! Jump, flea! Jump! Stop it, you grubkin! If he falls, God will punish you! Stop it, you grubkin! If he falls, God will punish you!
Heaven will swallow this.
A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Does Magister Batter not teach you the scriptures?
Magister Batter is a horse's dangles.
And here is the axe I used to swat a fly.
You have ventured from your burrow.
And you have plunged my city into chaos. I had hoped you would use the lessons of your subtler gods.
We have no subtle gods.
If the gallows is truly dead, perhaps we can allow cautious revelry?
Sweep your own hearth, Aelfred, if you do not like my broom.
Forgive my outburst. God sowed in me a passion, but English prose is an instrument long out of tune.
We all want better for our people, don't we, Eivor? Yours and ours.
The quill remains. What do we know?
The decay of learning has been gentle in Wessex. We enjoy the office of wise men, but we have neglected the study of wisdom.
The quill preys on this lapse.
Did you discover more from the writings I found?
I did. The quill is calling the children of Winchester to arms. Now we know why so many children scurry through the streets. Feral and untutored.
I can talk to some, see where they lead me.
Good. Find me at the alehouse when you're done. And try not to scare the piss from any of them.
We Norse are the monsters of your Saxon mother's bedtime tales. I promise nothing. I see you, child. Come.
The bad Reeve, Selwyn. I saw you punish him in the square.
He hurt many people.
Yes. He hurt my mother to death. Then took her good luck charm. Perhaps you found it? A little carved tree. It is all I have to remember her by.
Such a sad story. Take this. Perhaps it will keep you off the streets and out of trouble.
For me? Oh, thank you.
Spry, little mouse. Will you lead me to your quill?